Welcome to NFL Monday Night Football, Buffalo versus Denver, the post-game notes with the coach, Coach Coyote. The first possession for Buffalo was a fumble by Cook. Buffalo got a little bit of a lucky break because they didn't score a touchdown. They only got the field goal, which really would have gave the momentum for Denver if they would have got the touchdown. So Denver kicks off, and then it becomes a touchback for Buffalo. On Buffalo's second possession after the fumble, there was a lucky break for Buffalo as the Denver Broncos defender did not get both feet down on the interception. Then Gabe Davis catches a first down. There was a nice run by Murray, followed by another good run by Murray. And then Gabe Davis tipped the ball, or it went to his hands, and it was an interception for Denver. So the first quarter, it was mostly just 3-0 for the first quarter because on the Denver Denver was 3rd and 18. They didn't get the first down, and Denver punts. Now that seemed like quite the momentum shift right there for Buffalo, that things are going their way. Now it's the third possession for Buffalo, and they're starting at their own 25-yard line, but then Buffalo punted. The second was more than the second possession for Denver. They started on their own 21. Their first play was a 9-yard run. Their second play was second down, and then the second down was a run for a first down. And then after that, there was a really good open field tackle by Buffalo. At the start of the second quarter, Denver has a possession. It was 3-5 on their own 37. Denver first down run was by Russell Wilson, but Denver punted anyways. And Buffalo had their possession end in a punt. Denver ended up taking possession on their own 48-yard line. On that possession on Denver's 48, they started with a first down pass. But then there was because of the penalty for a defenseless receiver. Buffalo got that penalty for hitting a defenseless receiver, which that one was, I felt like yikes. It just they had the Denver, but it was just a miscue. Something that there's so many things that went wrong with Buffalo, and that was one of them. First, the fumble. Now, at the fumble, going back to the first quarter, Cook is now it's the second quarter of Cook fumbles, but right now, as in the second quarter, Cook was on the bench still, and the coach and I both agree on this one. He didn't need to sit sit him for such a long time just to prove a point. I didn't understand that one on Coach McDermott. Now, the Coach Coyote is not going. He's not going to criticize another coach, but he just said it nicely and politely, as the coach would, as only the coach would say it. Is to me is that I, he's a young player. He hasn't made a fumble in a very long time. Uh, and you took your best player out that was doing so good. It was doing hot. Well, as we seen after when he got back in the game, and it was like it was like as if Sean Payton was like saying, "Hey, that's nice. You just you got the you got Cook who could on the bench." I it was baffling on that one. I like I said, the coach doesn't want to criticize McDermott for this one, but I'm not like just I'm not I'm not like really mad. I just I sound frustrated probably. I, I mean, like I heard other pundits, and listening to AM 550 all day. So many people brought up that Cook was benched, and it was like what like what was the point of that? You find out later that you just benched your player who was doing spectacular. I mean, it's the questions could be asked. What if Buffalo would have scored a touchdown while Cook was back? Like if he was only out for one series and back, and they scored a touchdown, that makes up for the fumble. And if he scored two, that really makes up for the fumble. And the memento shift would have been there. And like I don't know, I just don't know. And you got, of course, the breaking news this morning of Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator, getting released or fired. You could say the Coach Coyote would say released or he was let go of his duties. But I'm not a coach. I'm just gonna say it as a layman. He got fired, and he got fired for other people's mistakes. I mean, if he was that bad as an offensive coordinator, why didn't they fire him last week or the week before or before that? I mean, just strange, like the reaction of losing and how Buffalo, of course, how Buffalo lost the game. And do we have a history? We go through a history of weird Buffalo endings and like the painful wide right, then 10 players on the field for an overtime loss, then 13 seconds, and now 12 men on the field. I mean, and then the reaction is the next day to fire offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. It just seemed like there could have been a lot of just a lot of words exchanged, maybe some heated words exchanged. We don't know that. We don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I'm not saying there's heated exchange between Ken Dorsey and Sean McDermott. I mean, they're professionals. I'm just talking about like maybe Josh Allen was like no this let's not just I want to make it clear. I'm not saying that. I definitely am not saying this. That Josh Allen got Ken Dorsey fired. No, I'm not saying that at all. But or Stephon Diggs, because they could. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs can say whatever they want, and they're not going to get benched, suspended, and they could just say like what is, like they're not. I'm going to say it like as a as just like how I feel like that. I don't feel like they were saying to Sean McDermott, "Oh, we don't want Ken Dorsey around." I don't think that happened. I just think they questioned his play calling. And that's we don't know the scenes of what, because the strangest thing is the one drive where they didn't pass but they scored a touchdown, and Josh Allen did the old fashioned Josh Allen, the old Josh Allen, where he ran for a touchdown. Now, like like there's an old song. I don't know if Led Zeppelin it was the original. Of course, you find out later on in life that a lot of rock songs were just old blues songs. But back in the day, because they're just starting out a new genre of rock and not rock and roll, rock, like heavy rock. But the song good with the lyric. I think it's lyrics to have the good times, bad times. Like that touchdown run was the good times. But once again, the bad times. Is it Ken Dorsey's fault that Josh Allen, when he threw the ball and went through Gabe Davis's hands, and then he got an interception? Now the interception is not. I don't blame Josh Allen on the interception, but I said, I just said this, and the coach kind of like disagreed with me when I said this. I said, did Josh Allen throw it too hard and it went through his hands? And like, I'm not trying to say like it's Josh Allen's fault whatsoever. Hey, if you ask him now, would you have not thrown it so hard? Because possibly, I'm just saying possibly, and this is when the coach is telling me that now you're going in the deep end. Like you don't know that, but I'm just saying it for just the for the video, to make some controversy. You got but how is it that, and then how is it that Gabe Davis misses like that, and it went through his hands. Now, and it got an interception, and you didn't see Gabe Davis get benched for even one down. You know what I mean? Not even like one down. And it's like, the coach doesn't want me to say this, but I'll say it anyways, because he says it's just, you're still going in the deep end. And before we did the video, Coach and I reviewed, compared notes, and I'm going off script here. And I bring it, and like, like this is what I mean when I say I'm going to go. Maybe I'm going in the deep end. I kind of could agree with Coach Coyote, but I'm going to say it anyways. If you benched someone like Gabe Davis, I don't know Gabe Davis's personality, but would he sulk and and walk off the field, and then it's like walk into the locker room sulking, or just sitting on the bench sulking. Whereas you bench James Cook, and you've done it already, so you know that he's not a sulker. Is that the right word? But he's not. He's not going to sulk. SULK. And well, let me see if I use the right word. Let's see. Let me go on my tablet here and see. Did I say the right word? I want to be. I want to be 100% accurate. I'm pretty sure I'm right with the right word. Definition of sulk. I hope I.
Here's the definition of sulk: be silent, morose, and bad-tempered out of annoyance or disappointment.
Okay, yeah, yes. So when Gabe Davis has sulked on the bench and being on national TV, it like let's not like there's a lot of things that are in play at the time, and Sean McDermott could have been like, well, if Gabe Davis is sulking on national TV because the ball went through his hands, and what like he's going to say, well, it was thrown a little hard, but if it would have been a little bit softer or down, it would have went farther down. It wouldn't have went so fast through his hands, and uh, and then everyone saying, yeah, why is Gabe Davis not playing? It happens, but for Cook, it's like, oh, okay, bench him. He could take it, but he was more valuable than Gabe Davis. So it's that's just a baffling, beyond baffling to me, if there's such a word. I don't even think you can even be beyond baffled. Can you be? I'll ask the internet. Can a person be beyond baffled? Well, being baffled is being befuddled, bewildered, confront. You can't go more than that. You can't. Yeah. I'm. Oh, what does utterly baffled mean? I should have said that. Extremely confusing or difficult to understand. So yeah, next time I'll just say I was utterly or extremely baffled. I would say yes, utterly baffled. So I am right now still to this day, to this moment I should say, to this day. It's only happened yesterday. To this moment, I'm utterly baffled. Like, you know. So, but I've still got the notes where looking now. I can't remember when. I didn't write down. No, I didn't write down the time that Cook was back on. But there was in the second quarter, it was still like Buffalo 0, Denver 3. Oh yes, there was the touchdown came up. Yes, like, Denver started on their own 48, and then like I wrote down these notes that there was the first down pass gets the first down on a penalty for a defenseless receiver. Okay, that's okay. I had to turn the page. I wrote it twice. I turned the page, I guess. Okay. Then Russell Wilson throws a first down. Then it was Wilson under center. Handoff. There was no gain. But there was a big third down. A 3rd and 6. The Buffalo 11. Okay. Then 4th and 2. And then so then it was a fake the field goal. Was it? Oh, failed. Probably failed. Failed. I got to do my notes better. Failed field goal. Okay. Okay. So Denver. The it was like yeah. It was like did not snap the ball. Denver offense in the field. There was a turnover on downs, and then Buffalo takes the ball over on downs. Okay, that's not the touchdown. I was looking. I thought that was the touchdown. Okay. Oh, there was the touch. Okay, there it is in the second quarter. Okay, so I should write down the times these things happen. I forgot to write the times down. How much what how much time was remaining? Because now I'm looking at my notes, and if I don't, I forgot to write the times down. So now I learned my lesson. You gotta write down the times, because then you can't follow even your own notes in which order things happened. If you're going back and forth. Okay, like me, I'm going back and forth on this game right now. Okay, so then I this is what I wrote. Everything it's like you you like as I'm writing, I feel like I'm just writing so much, and I'm trying to trim it down. Okay, but I did write this down. Second quarter is still Buffalo 0 and Denver 3, and then okay, then that was the touchdown pass. That was that crazy touchdown pass. That's why I put that Buffalo does not take possession. Okay, so I forgot to scratch that out. Turnover on downs. Buffalo takes ball over on downs. And then is it the commercial break and they came back, but then the review, and it was Buffalo does not take possession. Automatic review, touchdown for Denver, but the extra point no good. So that's what I wrote down. Okay, so yes, that was one of the extra points that kind of went. No, it was no good. Okay. Okay, so then why did I put the defender? Okay, so something about the second quarter. So now it's the second quarter still. Buffalo didn't score yet, but Denver has 9 with the with the mixed extra point. It only made it 9. Field goal earlier, and now the mixed a touchdown with the missed extra point. Denver had 9, and then I wrote this down. Denver kicks off, then Buffalo defender Cam Lewis hurt on the kick return. Okay, I don't know what was so important about that and why I wrote that down. Okay, I can't remember how important that was. I don't know. Okay, so because the Buffalo was on their own 19-yard line. Oh, there it is. Cook returns. Okay, it was in the second quarter. Cook returns. I didn't write down the time. It's right there. I did write it down. I did write down Cook returns. But I'm learning reporting. This is all new to me. Uh, you gotta watch my 100th video, and I tell you, if this is not easy to do. Like I tried to explain that in my 100th video, that I didn't even know what I was doing at first at all. Like in the sense of a YouTube channel. At first it was sports. Okay, like I started just like I explained it in my description on the 100th uploaded video on YouTube. Was I I I only started it so I could talk sports. Now, because it was March, and I said if it was in September, I would have been a dedicated football channel. This would have been a dedicated. I wouldn't have probably called it. I probably wouldn't have called it Sports News Review. I wanted to be Sports News Review generic, so I can actually like my live streams. I was thinking I was going to watch games and just talk about it, or just watch TV, because there was no NFL at the time. It was March, and just talk about it. And I even I even I even had one video where I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch the Friday night." There was not really sports I was interested in at night, and I was gonna watch the Ancient Aliens, and then I decided like, okay, that's after listening to these live streams, like that's not what I intended is here. This is not what I intended. So things changed over time, And coming back full circle is now reporting, because this is so unique to have a channel in 2023. And YouTube's been around for how long now? But you, you to do this, you become you become everything. Editor. Well, I don't edit it. I don't edit. I don't have sophisticated software. Do editing. What I mostly just use the camera that's on the laptop as you're looking, and then I use these stuffed toys for fun, just to pretend that I have someone to talk to on this video besides myself. And those menu boards I got at, what is it? Is the Dollarama, or in Ontario? I think it was the Dollarama. Those menu boards really helped out. I make two or I can make. I got three of them, so I I could make it on the fly. And I'll show you what I mean. I made one. I forgot I made a second board, and you'll see what I mean. I put Monday night Buffalo 22 and Denver 24, but I forgot to mention. I forgot to switch it out real quickly. So here's what the menu board would look like. Just here's a second menu board. This is the newest one. The previous one had NFL news with Sylvester, and I just put it away. I put it all away. That's the third board, and then this board is, see, as you as you can see, it's another menu board, and they. I'll show you the back where I hung it. I hang it up. Okay, so this is the back. If you can't see, okay, yeah, you could see where it's hanging up by a string. Okay, and then there's uh, when well, and then I hold it up on top of the whiteboard, and okay, so it's everything. And then what it is that you learn the reporting aspect of it too, where I didn't write down the time that Cook returned. James Cook made. Oh yeah, see, James Cook. There it is. So in the second quarter, I wrote down that Buffalo 0, Denver 9. Denver kicks off. Now I'm just reading my notes, so it's like I think I'm going to be able to understand it and decipher it the next day. Like I said it in another video, but if as you're doing this, you find out you you, you need to rework it and get a script possibly. And I think like what I can I don't have everything ready, like to like I don't have the proper setup here. My laptop is hard to access. It's on a small little table beside the big TV, where I like I said I just and it's hard to reach down at it. And I use a monitor. I use a second monitor as like I don't turn the big TV on until at least 8 o'clock, or if I'm watching a sporting event earlier, and I shut it off midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. If I'm still up at 1 o'clock in the morning or midnight, I'll shut off the big TV. The, but I got this small monitor TV, like a small. It looks like a little bit bigger than 12-inch. It could be 14-inch television, but that's one I used for my laptop as a monitor. That's why I don't think I'll ever need a laptop again. If it's just gonna stay put, I'm better off with a tower to get the camera and all that. And plus I'm only using the laptop camera. And then of course I mentioned it in that 100th video where I just bought a $24 microphone because I'm a plug and play kind of person. Uh, I even took a bus to get to a Walmart, and spent the day. And I don't do much, so spent the day seen that USB microphone. It's ONN. I know it's very inexpensive, but it works. It's better than trying to talk into the built-in microphone on the laptop because it always sounds tin canny and it picks up too much. It picks up everything in the room. It could pick up a motorcycle driving by, a car driving by with the loud exhaust. It'll pick that up. Whereas this microphone, now I have to talk close to it, but at least it only picks up what I want it to pick up. Okay, now, like I said, this is like really hard to put on a video. It's not. Oh, there's so many things, and like I said, and in the production of like this is part of your production meetings and quote unquote production meetings. Now, I didn't want to retype this and all that. So I'm just reading my notes, and like I said, okay, so yeah, Cook returned. So then it's like James Cook made 3 good runs. Murray then runs for a first down. Yeah, he gave him a break. Then Stephon Diggs was the first down catch. And then that touchdown pass to Jonathan Kincaid. It was a nice 20-yard pass to wide open Kincaid. And then something it changed. They changed. They went to a 2-point conversion, and it was good. Which became very important. That 2-point conversion actually came very good. Now, see, there it is. Now, there it is. James Cook made 3 good runs. Now, I'm reading my notes. I'm just rereading my notes again to, like, this person was on the bench earlier. Just because he fumbled. I mean, you didn't need to fumble. Okay. I need to breathe in, take it easy, and start again. But this person was on the bench earlier, and I don't even know why he was on the bench, like I said. And there it is. I'll read my notes. James Cook made 3 good runs. Murray then runs for a first down. Stephon Diggs, first down, catch, and then a touchdown pass to Jonathan Kincaid. I don't know. There might have been other things in between. I just wrote those super big highlights. But then I wrote down nice 20-yard pass to wide open Kincaid, and then the 2-point conversion was good. Change to. I actually wrote down extra point good, and then it got changed to 2-point conversion was good. Okay, so there's. I must have been looking up and down the TV. I didn't, writing and not looking at the screen. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. So, because of that, now the score became Buffalo 8 and Denver 9. Oh, okay. This is this. Okay, then the Denver possession. There was. Oh, that was 2 minutes. Okay, there was. Okay, so Denver possession on own was they were on their own. Okay, am I gonna rate 20? Is it 25? Possibly. Yeah, I did. Okay, it says 25. Okay, I'll take my word for it. I wrote it down. Denver. Okay, I put down that Buffalo 8 and Denver 9. Denver possession on own 25. There was a. These are super highlights. Like just what I wrote down real quick because there's so like. I won't be explaining this all the time in other videos. I just want to explain again that like this is not easy to do. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it because it just takes up so much of my time, which is good. And I don't even know how much time I'm actually going to see. How long has this video been so far? Because I have no power of editing. 34 minutes plus. I'm okay with it. I don't care. I'm the one that's going to watch this over and over again until I make a new video. I've already watched my Sylvester video a couple of times. Make sure I don't make mistakes. Should I care if I make mistakes? Nah, I shouldn't care, but I don't care at all. I just try not to because I want to watch these with this, and I want to laugh at myself, going, "Oh, geez." I just want to be like be able to just do my video, get the talk, and watch it again. So I'll read that again just to know where we are. Okay, so it was Buffalo. This is what I wrote down. Buffalo 8, Denver 9. Denver possession on own 25. The first down pass by Wilson. It was a 35-yard gain right before the 2-minute warning. Okay, that's what I wrote down. So Denver possession on own 25. First down pass by Wilson. I don't know if it was the next play, how many plays later, but there was a first down pass by Wilson, which was almost a 35-yard gain or plus 35 gain. And then I wrote in all capitals, 2-minute warning, because, it's very important. But Denver kicks a successful field goal. Oh, yes. 45 seconds left. Okay, so Buffalo 8 and Denver 12. No. 45 seconds left. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen throws an interception. That's 45 seconds left in the second quarter or the half. Okay? Now, then I wrote down that Denver takes possession. Then Denver gets last play, which was a field goal. So it became Buffalo 8 and Denver 15 at half. Now, just by pure luck, it ended right on the last line. And now I'm turning the page over. No, page number 3. It's our page number 1. Okay, so now I'm on page number 3. Our second page. Sorry, it says it's page 3, but I used both sides of the paper. Okay, and it was the start of the third quarter. I wrote down that start of the third quarter. I'm having trouble everywhere. I need my glasses, and I'm having trouble reading. Okay. Okay, so it started third quarter, and Buffalo 8, Denver 15, as we know. So I wrote down that Denver takes possession first after halftime. Yes, because Buffalo didn't defer. They wanted the ball first. I guess they wanted to come out, as they call it, come out blazing. But I feel like, you know, this is like I think that's where the old Buffalo Bills team, this wouldn't happen. Uh, they would have possibly scored on their first possession if they would have took the ball. But the old Buffalo Bills, I'm talking just from a few years ago, they would have probably wanted the ball and start the second half because remember they said the 45 seconds left. Josh Allen was on fire back in the 2 years ago, and he wouldn't have threw that interception, and he possibly would have, got a touchdown, maybe run it in himself, whatever. But there would have been a touchdown, and there would have been no time for Denver to score anything, and then they would have the ball start the second half, which was they call it, a lot of these announcers are calling it double dipping. But that was the old Bills, and I Coach, am I going to go off the deep end on this one again? Because he said I'm going off the deep end. That, like, did I feel something was wrong that they didn't take they took the ball which ended up like Coach is saying how How would you have known that there was going to be a fumble? I didn't. I don't think that at all. That's when you know. I just like the defense was doing. The defense was so good, and I think I would have wanted my defense out there first. Stop them, and then try to make a score with less than 2 minutes left. Leave no time on the clock, and get the ball back. But that was not on the plan. That wasn't on the Bills' plan. The Bills' plan was to just keep scoring, of course. But I I think the like once again, coach. I don't know if I'm going in the deep end of the pool, and like I'm in the pool right now, like the old public pools. You had that barrier, the rope barrier with the buoys on it, to separate the diving end where people are diving off the diving boards, and the regular pool, like the deep end, right? So, you could start off walking where it's like, I think it'd be up to some, like, say up to, if someone is 6 foot tall, the water starts probably at three, whatever, up to the chest. I'm not sure how deep it is, but, it says no diving. Okay, so that's the shallow end where everything is normal. Conversation. Now, as you're walking and getting, and like I'm doing, you start walking towards the buoy. And I remember, as a young person, you always, like, you can't go in the deep end because there's the buoy with the line, the rope with the buoys on it. So the marker, like, there's the deep end. You can't go in there. And I call it as, like, I, if I start to go in there, I'm just making up crazy stories or making up stuff in my mind that, like, it's, how do I know it's true? So that's what I mean by going in the deep end. So I feel like, am I going in the deep end with these stories and scenarios I come up with? How the Ken Dorsey was let go, possibly with grumblings, and when I said earlier that grumblings, but maybe with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen possibly saying that. Yeah, I feel like I am going to the deep end. Hey, what's our plan? And Sean McDermott taking it as, hey, opportunity to send a message. And was Ken Dorsey, just fired to get the heat off of everyone else especially himself, for a lot of weird calls. Now, I feel like I'm kind of have one hand on that buoy because the water starts to go over your head, close, like, hey, it starts to get, and then there's that big, like, slant dive where it starts to go really deep. So I'm not in there yet, but I'm lifting up the rope and I'm ready. And the coach is like on the pool going, "No, come back here." Come back here. Let's get out of the deep end and come back into the shallow end where we could talk normal. But I guess I like to do the deep end. I like to talk in the deep end, as I call it, going into the deep end. Just there's so many questions to be asked. I mean, so we're starting. We're starting. Okay, now I got another one where I wrote down in the third quarter. Okay, so it's the tied game of Buffalo 15 and Denver 15, and then I put Buffalo and then the asterisk, two asterisk, one between the words, another, because one asterisk before the word and one asterisk after the words, which says big break. So Buffalo, asterisk, big break, and another asterisk. Okay. Okay, so then first and 10 on their own 45-yard line. James Cook, first down run. Josh Allen, big pass to Shakir. Buffalo on the Denver 15-yard line. Latavius Murray, first down run. Then Murray runs for a touchdown. Extra point is good. That's the Buffalo 15-15. Okay. Okay. So, but in the third quarter, this was another break for Buffalo. Where well, that's not actually. I don't know why I put big break. That's a scoring drive more than a big break. But because this is a break, this is more of a break. My reporting is very like amateurish, where I have to learn how to report. Okay, so third quarter I wrote. This is what I wrote. Third quarter is Buffalo was 15 and Denver was 15. Then with 3:30 time remaining, so I put with 3:30 TR time remaining. Denver, Russell Wilson sacked on third down. Another sack. Denver punts. I don't know why I wrote it like that, but so Denver punted. Right now it's so fast, and like I'm writing down this so fast. Like I think I need a tape recorder, the old-fashioned tape recorder. I think I got a digital one. I gotta go pull it out. I think it's like better just to talk into it and just listen to it next day, and then write down a script to me to read. Just read a script, okay, and then I can go off the script if I want, right? Well, yeah. So so Denver punts. Now I'm just reading ahead of myself, so I'm looking at the Buffalo. So I'll just read it for. Oh yes, highlight. Yes, okay. I'll read this highlight. Is it a highlight? Well, a low light if you're a Buffalo fan. Highlight if you're a Denver fan. A Broncos fan. Denver Broncos. Okay, so Buffalo first and 10 on their own 11-yard line. On second and 7, it was a Gabe Davis had a big catch. But then there was a bad exchange between Allen and Cook, and then the fumble. Okay, that one was just, yeah, that was just, wow, that bad exchange. I mean, like, he, he didn't even look where his arms were. He threw it in his stomach. Now, like, I'm gonna say, like, coach, like, I'm gonna say, like, don't they practice? Like, coach not gonna. He's not gonna answer this one because he doesn't want to. He just wants to be neutral and point. He helps me out, and points out things, but he's such a nice coach. Okay, so Buffalo first and 10 on their own, yeah, and then Gabe Davis was the big catch and fumble. But don't like now they're gonna need to practice that. Like I think that the new offensive coordinator is gonna have to like practice. Okay, let's let's go back to basics here. Like say a junior team in a grade 8 or 7, grade 8 or 9, depending if you're in the United States of America. I think they even have football teams in elementary school. I don't know, but we'll just say like a high school first, junior team. If there's a there's a junior team. Like you're gonna be practicing handoffs. You're gonna be practicing handoffs. Now, like I said, like it was just so basic. Where how did like I love Josh Allen, and like this is not pick on Josh Allen day for me. I mean, I I'm just gonna say how I knew of Josh Allen when I first for the television, of course. Okay, there was like projections on the draft, and you had you had a quarterback named Josh Allen from let me get this right. The Wyoming, is it Wyoming? I was almost gonna say Idaho, but I know it's Wyoming. I'm pretty yeah. I'm just going from memory. I'm not looking on the tablet or anything like that. I'm not gonna even look up the tablet. But either way, okay. So now there was the Senior Bowl that year. Okay, and I'm a diehard football fan. I'll watch the Senior Bowl every year. I watch, like I said, I watch bowl games. Uh, and like I love watching those bowl games when it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the next day after Christmas, couple of whatever, Christmas January. Now it's January 1st, New Year's Eve. I'll watch a bowl game if it's on, especially if it's on prime time. I'll watch a bowl. That's what me. I like to watch the prime time bowl games. Now, and then later on there was the Senior Bowl, and Josh Allen agreed to play in it, and he's being interviewed by the sideline reporter that he wanted to come back in the game because he did come back and he wanted to come back in the game uh, to show that he's better than what he just did earlier. And ever since that, listening to him on that interview, I said, yes, I would draft him. I didn't say like if I was the Buffalo Bills, I'd draft him. I just said, yeah, I'd draft him. I would take him. The arm strength, the dedication. So, and then Josh Allen's on Buffalo, and I'm like, yes, yes, and probably other people are wondering, well, why would you like Josh Allen so much? Quarterback from Wyoming, and I'm pretty sure it's Wyoming. Here I am being a Josh. Okay, I I'm gonna bet it's Wyoming. I'll look it up. I'll I'll give Tabby here something to do. Okay, Monsieur Tabby. Josh Allen's college. Wyoming, right? University of Wyoming. Well, he went to Reedley College. I didn't even know that. Reedley College in 214 to 250, but he went to University of Reedley College? How big is Reedley College? Reedley College is a public community college in Reedley, California. Reedley. It is part of the California community college system with the state. They had a football team, I guess. In-state tuition, $1,304. I don't know if Josh Allen had to pay $1,304 or did he average cost after aid 4213. So it's very okay. This is a very affordable college by American standards, Reedley College. I mean, the education is more important than the school, in my opinion. But it goes back and forth. I, who know, young people. You don't know why you go to to go to University of Alabama because they're winning in football. But what's the program you're taking? Well, I know I don't want to get into that, but so he went to Reedley College, and I'm guessing, did he play? Did he play? Okay, let's ask. Did Josh Allen play football at Reedley College? Okay, Josh. Okay, let's see. Okay, where did Josh Allen play college? Where did Josh Allen play football in college? And University of Wyoming comes up. Did he play at Reedley though? I should. Okay, I'm gonna look up his Wikipedia. I never looked up Josh Allen's Wikipedia. There it is. Joshua Patrick Allen, born May 21, 1996. May 21. Oh, this is like one of those conversations I joke around saying, I Are you older? Are you older? Or you have or you weren't born when Windows 96 came out? Because that was a game changer in the computing world. That was a huge game changer. Windows 90. I think it's Windows 96, if I remember correctly. But anyways, as American, I'm so old. 96 is like nothing to me yesterday. Because remember, I'm so old. I don't know if someone is like at the time can someone that's Josh Allen's age right now or back then when he was in the first time he was at college. Like I guess they understand that I want to groove to the 70s. Like I really want to go back to the 70s and groove because look at my age. I'm very very old. So as far as like like today's world, I'm old and like I go back to the 70s, man. And I always say man, too. I can't help it. And so, yeah, he played college football at Wyoming. Okay, but let's see. Career, high school, college, Reedley, Wyoming. Did he play football there? Did, that's okay. Early years, college career. Okay, college career. Reedley College. Okay, Allen attended Reedley College, a junior, where one of the football assistant coaches at the time was married to Allen's cousin. It's just crazy that nobody. I. I how did. How. I don't. I just lost for words on. You got someone that's 6 foot, over 6'4", with a super strong arm, and you don't want him on your team. He's got to go to a Reedley College because somebody knows him, kind of, and says, "Hey, man, take a chance on this guy." So he did play for Reed. I did not know that. I am such a huge Josh Allen fan, and I didn't know he actually played for Reedley College. I didn't know if he was. So he must have. Allen's 26 touchdown pass tied him for number 7 among all California junior college quarterbacks. Okay. Allen did not play in his team's first 3 games in 2014. I don't know how that guy could sit on a bench. Like, that's crazy. But in the next game, he ran for 4 touchdowns after coming off the bench and soon became the team starter. You're darn tootin'. Then he went to Wyoming. So Wyoming's coaches visited Reedley to scout another potential transfer, but former Fresno State assistant Dave Brown, who had since become part of the inaugural staff of new Wyoming Cowboys, head coach Craig Bull, was familiar with him and urged offensive coordinator Brent Vegan to recruit him. You darn right. But he says he noticed that he recruited someone in 2010 for North Dakota State named Carson Wentz, who became a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Wentz was similar in size to Allen. I always forget some of these. Yeah, I didn't even realize that how tall. I'm going to go on Carson Wentz's Wikipedia. Born American. Let's see. Position. Born 1992. He's 30 years old. He's 6'5". He's even an inch taller. Well, he's listed as an inch taller than Josh Allen. Forget how tall these players are. You know? Yeah. So then he went to Wyoming. Okay. Oh yes. Look. He's got a youthful look here. I'm looking at his Wyoming days, and he's playing Air Force. Yeah, so he's playing against Air Force on this game. Wow. Okay. See, you learn something new, even though you think you know everything about a player, you still learn something new every day. You can learn something new. Okay. Okay, so now am I on the 4th page now? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm on the fourth page. I just finished that third page where ruffling my notes here. Okay. So yeah, they get back exchange. Denver takes over. So I wrote it down again over there. So then it was the start of the fourth quarter. Oh, okay. The Denver punts. But then Buffalo punted again. Well, yeah, here it is. Start of the fourth quarter, Denver punts. Oh, okay. Buffalo starts from the 11-yard line again. So I'm putting restart. Looks, they did it. They're doing it again. They have to start from the 11-yard line. First down pass, Kincaid. Jonathan Kincaid, first down pass which leads to a first down run. But Buffalo ended up punting anyways. But okay, now I got the score down. Buffalo 15, Denver 15, fourth quarter. Denver first and 10 on their own 42-yard line. For some reason, I guess this was a big highlight because I don't got much written after that. Okay, first play penalty, first and 20. Next huge, next play huge conversion. Denver first and 10 on the Bills 35-yard line at 5. Oh, I did write the time down, which is amazing. So there was 5:20 left in the game. Okay, this is important. Now we're getting to almost the end of our almost getting to the end of the game where I wrote down. Okay, so I'll start over again. Denver first and 10 on their own 42-yard line. In the first play, it was a penalty, but then it became first and 20. Next play, there was a huge conversion. Denver now is first and 10 on the Bills' 35-yard line with 5:20 time remaining. Then it became a first and goal. See, I didn't I didn't write down all I didn't write down a lot of stuff in between because it was getting too much. You can last time I did 6 pages, realizing I'm writing down too much stuff. I'm actually writing a transcript. It seems. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause it for a second. Alrighty. Okay, so I unpaused it now. Okay, so Denver first intended. Denver. Oh, there it is. Okay, I read ahead, and this is okay. I'll start it all over then. Okay, Denver first and 10 on own 42-yard line. First play penalty. First and 20. Next play huge conversion. Denver first and 10 on Bills 35-yard line at 5:20 time remaining. First and goal. This is what I wrote. Then Denver Wilson throws a 3-yard pass for a touchdown. Okay, so but there was a fumbled extra point try. Okay, so they became Denver 21, Buffalo 15. So the fumbled. This is what I wrote down. Fumbled extra point try on Buffalo's possession. Here it is. Cook with 5 good runs. Okay, this is the guy that was on the bench earlier, and now he's doing it again. Cook with 5 good runs. It looked like an RUN and a 5. I wrote down so fast. Okay. Okay. Cook with 5 good. It looks like RUNS. Okay. At the 2-minute warning, Buffalo has the ball on the Denver 11. Okay. First and goal for Buffalo. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll start it over again. This is big. This is why I highlight. I wrote it down. I was lucky I wrote it down. It was important. Okay, so on Buffalo's, I'm just gonna write down exactly how I wrote it. Just see how I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with when I reread my notes and try to make like how to say like to make a continuous storyline, which I totally went off script so many times. Okay, it's okay because I don't expect any views on this. By now, if there is any views, I don't expect anybody to stick around this long. So it's going to be for myself all the time. And I'm having too much fun, which is scary. I'm having too much fun listening to my own videos, videos. Now, when I look at it, I don't even know how much time. How much time is this video? Let's see. Okay, I got a minute and 4 seconds. 30 is a minute and four. I just looked real quickly. Okay, so now I'll do it one more time where I'll just read exactly what I wrote verbatim. Buffalo's possession, Cook with good runs at the 2 minute warning. Buffalo has the ball on the Denver 11. First and goal for Buffalo. Josh Allen runs for a touchdown. Extra point good. And once again, James Cook was on the bench earlier. Just crazy. Crazy. Fumbles happen. I could go like I remember back in the day it was unfairly, but I don't know if we look up the let's see. Here is something I always remember since I was young. Chuck Muncie, San Diego Chargers. Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, Harry Vance Muncie was an American professional football running back who played for the New Orleans Saints and San Diego Chargers in the National Football League.
Oh yeah, when he was on the Chargers. When he's on the Chargers, that's when I knew. That's when I remember a lot of. Now, I decided. I decided to. Let's see if I can get this one. Look at this one. Ooh, that's going back. This is only the 70s, and he's still got the Kansas City Chief with the weird helmet. No. Now, here's Chuck Muncie holding a football. And I remember thinking, like, back in the day, it's like, oh, he fumbled again. But it's just memories because he just, sometimes he fumbled at the most, what is it called? The unopportune time? Just crazy. But, like, I think back in the day, I don't know if, hey, Coach, you still, I don't know, do you guys still use this? He's not going to probably answer because it's like, nah, I don't know. He's going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. But when I was very young, I remember hearing that expression about holding the football with like a loaf of bread, like you're bringing home a loaf of bread. So there's Chuck Muncie holding the ball. And when he fumbled, he didn't get benched for a very long time. You're not gonna hold the ball. You're not gonna hold the ball in today's world like that, especially like this, because it was Lawrence Taylor. I think, like if I remember correctly, if I'm wrong, Lawrence Taylor always started with trying to get the ball. Like everybody was trying to get the ball, but Lawrence Taylor was the one that started. Like I'll look it up, but like if you run with the ball like this nowadays, you don't tuck it in. You can get a chance of getting it punched out. Well, I'm trying to get the okay. Look at the way they're holding it back then, and they wouldn't you wouldn't hold it. Kids, don't hold it like this. Okay. Yeah, that was one. Yeah, that was a. Look at that. Here is Chuck Muncie. I'm looking at a photo with Chuck Muncie and without his helmet on. I used to think Chuck Muncie was the cool cat. Just like you know what? Honestly, that's the first thing I thought of. Stephon Diggs is like when I seen him came to Buffalo. I was like, ah, I call him the cool cat. If he wouldn't mind, I'd say, hey, you want to be called? Want a nickname, the cool cat? Cool cat. You know what I mean? Because I'd say, hey, Chuck Muncie. I always thought of him as one cool cat. Now look at his photo. Is that a cool cat or what? Yeah. Yeah. That. Oh yes. Oh, I'm looking at some more Chuck Muncie photos. Yeah, how not to hold the ball. Oh, look, I got playing card. And there's Chuck Muncie's playing card. There it is, the cool cat Chuck Muncie. I used to be, like I said, the reason I'm doing all this is because, okay, I started like really liking the San Diego Chargers because the Buffalo Bills were just, yeah, they just weren't happening for me. You know, a young person, you just want to go with where everybody else is liking at the time. You know, pick. Hey, it's like the old joke: get on the winning team. And so I switched, of course, and I've said it in other videos where I became a Bills fan in 1986, 10 years before Josh Allen was born. I was a Bills fan when an up and coming quarterback named Jim Kelly came to Buffalo from the USFL back the USFL days. He was on the Houston Gamblers, and I remember Jim Kelly from University of Miami, if I remember correctly. Yes, University of Miami. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to make sure 100% before I say it. I just wanted an excuse to look at photos. Jim Kelly, University of Miami. Oh, that brings back days. Let's see. Jim Kelly, University of Miami. Oh, wow. Look at that.
James Edward Kelly is an American former
Oh, yeah.
football quarterback who played in the National Football League for 11 seasons with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. And wow, look at that. Look at this photo. Wow. I remember watching him, University of Miami, and I thought, wow, who's that up and coming quarterback? And then he ends up playing the USFL. And then it was like I was hard to follow the San Diego Chargers. I wasn't like religiously glued to the TV, and so and I found that of course, started finding that it was easier just to follow the Bills. But what sealed the deal was Jim Kelly. Sealed the deal. I was like, soon as Jim Kelly came on the Bills, I'm a Bills fan all of a sudden. Oh, I don't know. Well, I wanted the Bills to win before because if you live in Ontario, it's a chance to go see an actual NFL game, which is whatever you can. Anywhere in southern Ontario, you can spend the time to go to the game. But I'm looking at Jim Kelly in his University of Miami days. Oh, all because Joe Paterno wanted him to be a linebacker. And it's like, Joe, hey, whatever. I'm not going to pick on Joe Paterno, but just saying, Joe, please, like, whatever. You lost an opportunity for Jim Kelly to be a quarterback for your team. You wanted him to be a linebacker, like crazy. Okay, so here's what this is what I'm looking at here, and let's see. Let me go with this one. Oh yeah, there it is. Ah, the good old days. I mean, they were still the good old days for me, even after the Muncie years in San Diego and that. This It's just it just brings me to a time and place looking at a photo like this of Jim Kelly in his University of Miami Hurricane uniform in his playing days. I pine for the 70s. I know. Coach, don't you want to go back to the 70s, Coach, too? Coach, don't you also want to go back to the 70s? Look at that. This one, this, see, there was a lot of, for some reason, there was a lot of Jim Kelly haters, quote unquote, back in the day. And I was like, you got it all wrong. Like, hey, brother or sister, or whatever, you got it all wrong. This this person knows what he wants and what he's gonna get, and it's like I'm in your face because you don't like it for some reason, and I don't even understand why. Like, why don't you like that? He's good, you know. But there is a confident Jim Kelly photo right there. Oh, I gotta stop looking at photos because it's just. Oh my. Okay, this one more. His first year with the Bill. I guess this is his rookie card. I don't know. I don't know if it's his rookie card or not, but I don't care. It's just a card. Look at it. And I'm looking at the sizes of those shoulder pads back in the day, the equipment, eh? Oh, sorry, Coach. Oh, wait. Not this one. That one's pretty cool. That one was pretty cool, but this is more. That was the University of Miami. This one is the one I'm talking about. I'm not sure if that's his rookie card or not, because I would have never collected cards. I was a little bit. I was older. I was too. I didn't, you know. And I'll just do one last photo. Jim Kelly, the Houston Gambler days. Not that. Okay, Jim Kelly, the Houston Gambler days. Yeah. I'm looking at more photos of it. Okay, so now I'll finish off because it's been very long for myself. Remember, this is for myself. I don't care how long I am. Uh, I don't think there's. I dare anyone, I challenge anyone to listen this long to a video. People got better things to do. Maybe go to local fast food restaurant, meet people, or just go to a regular restaurant, meet people. You know, it's almost close to now is the time when you have your company gatherings. You know, whatever people, kids, possibly playing video games. I don't know. I would. I'd be playing video games if I was young. I mean, they blow. The game games compared to the games, video games I'm talking about, the games I played. Oof, I call it video games too. I guess they still use that word. I don't even know. I like I said, I could buy the latest whatever PlayStation is out there, maybe 6, 7, or 8. Even in the future, if I'm if I'm still around when there's a PlayStation 9, if I'm still alive, PlayStation 9. Hey, could I? This it comes online with Space Invaders, Pac-Man, Galaga. Yeah, I'm just old. But I do like some new games. I did have some experience with other video games later on in life. But I guess I try to play a football one. But playing. I don't want to play with the computer. I want to play with someone. Play against someone. Maybe play someone online. I guess. Okay. So then, yeah, there was the Josh Allen runs for a touchdown. The extra point was good. And then it was. I wrote down. Okay, this is where I wrote down the final paragraph I wrote down. Now I'm just going to read it verbatim again. Just read it verbatim. Okay, I wrote down Buffalo 22, Denver 21. Okay, so no kick return. Denver, first and 10, I guess on first and 10 on 28, 25. Okay, first 10 on their own 25, I'm guessing. Okay, I'll start it again because I didn't, this is what I wrote. No kick return. Denver for 1 and 10, 25. So I meant first and 10 on the 25. After a first down, Buffalo injury, timeout called. Now that was important. They had to call a timeout. That that injury became crucial with those rules where if there's a injury with less than 2 minutes left, they're going to run the clock off because it's a tactic. They're scared that it's a tactic that teams use to stop the clock. You know what I mean? Okay, so first and 10, 25. After a first down, Buffalo injury, timeout called by Buffalo. So then there was the big time third. Why did I write it like that? Big time 3rd and 5. Okay, I'll start over again. That's what I wrote down. Big time 3rd and 5. Okay. So I wrote down Buffalo 22, Denver 21. No kick return. Denver for 1 and 10, first and 10 on the 25. After a first down, Buffalo injury, timeout called by Buffalo. Big time 3rd and 5. Denver first down, 3rd and 2. But with 4 seconds left, 12 men on the field, Denver re-kicks. Okay, that's the one where it made it 24. Yeah. Now we get to the end of the game. Okay, so it's 22-21. Okay. There was okay. There was the timeout called. Okay, so Buffalo only had 2 left. Okay, fine. You had 2 left. And then Sean McDermott calls a timeout. And it was like, okay, why'd you do that? Like he should have let the first play go down, because then you could control 2nd and 3rd down to call timeouts, and then they would have went for it on the 4th down. But the scenario went where be, just weird things that happened where there's 4 seconds left. So then Denver kicks a field goal. It's no good. But flags everywhere. It's like, in the moment, there's Buffalo fans, of course, going, wow, we won. And we dodged one, as they say. We dodged one. But penalty. And it was just a basic 12 players for Buffalo on the field, which gave Denver a retry. It was good. With 4 seconds left, of course, you don't need time on the clock too. Also, game cannot end on a defensive penalty. There's going to be one last play if there's a defensive penalty. So the kick is good, and Buffalo loses. And it was like one of the craziest games I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's just, I'm trying to think of teams from the 70s and 80s. For some reason, when I think they're, they're like I'd like to be watching a game with a NFL player from back in that day. And it's like, or Jim Kelly, like if I really, well, if it wasn't Buffalo, like just say if it was another, I'll say like an NFL player from the 70s and 80s, but not on Buffalo. So or Denver, just to be neutral. And it was like, how did I witness two plays that were so basic? The handoff, like I'm not, I don't know what happened there in a sense, really. And the Josh Allen handoff, and like I don't blame, I don't kind of blame uh, Cook on that one because like, his hands were up here, his hands were his chest. It didn't even look like Josh Allen was looking, and then he just it's just a bad exchange that happened, and then like isn't there usually one guy back that's going, like say like the punt, right? This is what I'm thinking that someone from the 70s or 80s would say, that was on a football team. He'd say, well, I always remember, even if they weren't on the kicking team or just, they would say the same thing I'm thinking. Like, don't you usually have one player in the back going, like a Sesame Street, 1, 2, 3, 4, and count. And if you say 12, you run off the field. I mean, you have 11 players up there. You have 11 players, no one in behind. So usually, they would have had 10. So like that player should have counted 10. And if he counted 11, he should have ran. He could have ran off the field. We don't know. We don't. We don't. I mean, we don't know if that like or you see, you couldn't call a timeout. it's it's just weird. I would have like I would have I almost I've almost would have sabotaged. I've almost would have sabotaged it. Like if I can't call a timeout and I'm on the sideline and I notice, oh my gosh, there's 12 players. I I, I would have just went on the field, even though I got a warning and penalty. It, it would have somehow stopped. Like as a coach, I don't care if I would have even got kicked out for not running on the field while the play's going, but like before they were gonna hike the ball. I would have kind of went on the field and said, "Hey, wait a minute, I would have pretended to try to call a timeout, even though I didn't have any. I would look like a doofus, but it would have been purposely done because what's the point? Kicks it good, decline the penalty. Misses, there's a penalty. Football is strange. There are sometimes when a penalty is good in football, and that's a crazy scenario where, like whoever, like swallow your pride and look like a doofus. Explain later. Well, and then it's like I skirted, of course. I kind of, I did it on purpose where I ran out on the field screaming timeout because I actually thought there was timeouts and I could claim that. I don't know. I come up with the crazy. Sorry, coach. I sound like I'm going on the deep end with this one too, but I don't know. It was something like that was probably what I would have done. I wouldn't have I wouldn't have just stood there and like I don't know. I can't like we're never gonna find out the truth. Uh, what like the date just stand there and go, oh, we got 12 players. Like, we can't do a thing about it because we don't have a timeout. I don't know. Just tell a player to go. Oh, get a player to run on the field. Even too late, like something like that. And I don't know. Just no. I think better to just to pretend. I think it would have been better just to like it's a crazy scenario. You know what I mean? To say like I'll run it by again, and then I'll when I play this video, like I'm wondering, does it sound like I'm going in the deep end? Like I'm trying to win a game here, and like this is professional football here that we're trying to win. Okay, now at the high school level, I would if I was coach. I'm just saying, like if I was a coach right now, like with the years, even though I'm pretty old, but I wouldn't be. I wouldn't have be. I'm too old to be a coach in high school level. I'm just too old. Not. It's not based on lack of skill of being a coach. I'm just saying that my age. But if I was able to be a coach at a high school level right now, in that scenario, I'd let it go. I would honestly let it go. Even though I noticed there's 12 players. Okay, in well, in Ontario, Canada, we play with CFL rules, so there would be 12 players, but the 13th player. So if there's 12 players, in that case, but we'll go with the NFL, like our American football rules, American, yeah. So college, okay, if I was in American high school, college, if I was in an American high school, I guess in Texas it probably would treat it even differently. But thing was, like, if I noticed that there was 11 players and they're kicking a field goal, I don't have any timeouts. I'm not going to run on the field saying timeout. The reason I'm not going to do that is because, um, like, get the barf buckets out. But like in all seriousness, that's not teaching good sportsmanship. Like these are, like that is that's like for the professional level kind of trickery to do something because we're talking millions of dollars on the line here between a playoff appearance for the everything. Like we're not talking students that don't know what college, what if they're going to go to college or not. You know, if they're or if they're oh, what's it going to be like in grade 12 and they're thinking of the spring proms and all that kind of stuff. You know, uh, they're in the moment, like I said, but that's not teaching good sportsmanship. It looks bad. You gotta, you can't, like, in my opinion, this is totally my own opinion. I'm saying, like, a high school football coach, soccer, whatever sport, you're supposed to be teaching good sportsmanship and not blow up on the field to a loss is a loss. You lose, the referee's bad calls. You might not even come on. You can't be berating referees at a high school level. Like they're just there. They're just there. You don't want them to quit. Like this is BS. I'm getting yelled at and this and that, and like I didn't sign up for this. You know what I mean? That's what a saying like a high school referee. Like they didn't sign up for this craziness. I mean, it, like they'd probably look and say, "Wow, you want to win that bad? What? What you want some trophy in the trophy case, the high school? So I'm not gonna pull that kind of stunt as I say, but college level, I don't know. I don't. I mean, like college coaches make so much money. It's like, yikes! I don't. It's but like the game time at the time of the game, like if I'm Sean McDermott, to pretend like I didn't know I didn't have a timeout. I thought I had a timeout. To to like get a penalty. Like, who cares if they're gonna kick it 5 yards closer? Probably would have got it then. See, but what's the difference if he missed it with 12 on the field? That's what I'm getting at. It's like see if it doesn't work, where I end up like you get penalty, and now you got 11 players. You got you got the clock. They have to reset the clock to 25 seconds. They're gonna get five. What I don't even know what kind of penalty you get. 10 yards. Problem is they're if they could be they could goal line stand. Hey, maybe they'll go for a goal line stance instead of a field goal. Who knows? Yeah, hey, that would be even funnier. See, and I always say that football could over the like football. I say that to a lot of people just as an observer of watching football, and is that like that example I'm saying is that football you could do some strange things, and actually a penalty is good sometimes. There is such a thing as a good penalty in football, in my opinion. In that case, remember, we're talking professional football team here. I'm going to win at all costs. So I don't care if I look like a doofus. I'm going to explain all that to the owner and say what happened there was exactly what I'm saying. What is the point of letting him kick the ball with 12 on the field? If he misses, like can happen, they get to retry anyways. But they're like, "Oh, why did you do that for? You made a closer kick, but there was 12 on the field." They could say, "There's 12 on the field. What is the point of letting them kick with 12 on the field?" And I can't believe how long I spent on that. I don't know if I can make sense. Like I don't know if I'm making sense. I don't even know if I want those on the comments section, as they say, the comments, COMMENTS section. I comment. I think I got one comment out of nowhere, like something trying to sell me something. Like wow, of course I know I have the ability to just go find another YouTube channel if you want to comment. Like if it is a weird comment, you just block that one. And they have to use their other YouTube channel. Some people have 3 or 4 burner, what do you call it, burner YouTube accounts. Because you could probably, because I have another channel, of course. I have more than one. And like this was just a recent one. I've had once, whatever. I have my original channel. I started with YouTube, and then later on they made people use their name for a channel. I said, no, I'm not using my name. I wanted to keep this as the entity, what I called it. People switched over and used their name. I didn't. I refused. And then I thought my channel was going to get kicked and blocked out. Still there. Not, of course. Then they said, oh, you could use your name, or you could use just a name, like a moniker, like whatever you want to call it. And then, like I said, I only wanted to start a channel to talk sports, and I listen to myself because, like I say, I don't expect my phone to be ringing at all this whole time. If that phone rings, I'm talking, not a landline. I do have a landline. It's free, I guess. It's free. The landline's free with the cable packages and all that stuff, eh? But I'm saying like my cell phone, of course. I don't answer the phone if I don't know the number. I just let it go to the answer machine. Uh, like someone says you're gonna miss an important call, but important call. If it's that important, you leave a message. I'll call right back. How important could it be? If you can't leave your name, company name, whatever importance, that, like, by expecting a phone, I I do answer it I did answer a couple of times when it says unknown because I know this one person that calls at a certain time, and it says unknown. But I know it's somehow I know it's him or her. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I know if it's the person. It's like so. I'll answer the phone, but it's just going back to the whole thing with it, and then being able to. Then YouTube, I've said, the YouTube changed its mind and said, "Oh, you can use anything now, your company name and all that," which makes sense. Like, wait, how do you just pretend your company's not called Sports News Review? If I was back in the day, if I used this name, Sports News Review, but they allowed it back. So I was like, so when I started March the 10th, I think it was March 3rd, March 9th. I can't remember exactly the date, but March of it's actually going to be 2023. Yeah, 2024 will be a 1 year anniversary of Sports News Review. I wonder what happened to Sports News Reviews with the S. I never see that channel anymore. But my progression. You start off. My first thing I got was an S as an icon. I had to work from there, and I did the microphone because I'm talking in a microphone right now, and that's how I figured. Like I've showed this microphone before. So now you can. I can. I started with this channel, Sports News Review, the name, and like I said, with the comments, like people have burner accounts where, I look at sometimes I will not on the other like the other ones. I look to see the person that commented, and it's like this person has no videos, and I don't even know how. I remember I made the first video to start the YouTube. I said, "What is this channel about?" I mean, I figured you gotta have one video first, and then I had to set up for the live stream. It took a day to set up for the live stream anyway. So I made a video just to get the channel going. I thought it was gonna be live stream. Like even right now, I thought I would be live streaming this NFL Monday Night Football where I wrote on the board Buffalo versus Denver post game notes with Coach Coyote, and I'm looking at it going, I'm seeing if I made any mistakes because I have made mistakes before. Like one time I was tired. I did the video and I put SPN instead of SNR. SNR would be Sports News Review. I put SPN. I'm like, oh okay. I noticed it later and I think, all right. And then I went used the tool that they didn't have when first YouTube was started. Because if you don't have an edit, it's already downloaded, so you can't. You know, I could have just somehow retitled it to edit it. Like I could have pulled it out, but I deleted it. I don't have much. I only bought a basic laptop where I call it now. I call it the the COVID era laptop because I was my original laptop. My laptop was just kind of it was not it wasn't working too good for YouTube to live stream, but my other channels. And I was like, I just need a laptop to just a modern laptop right now because that laptop was getting really old. It was actually over 10 years old. It was amazing that it actually could do, you know, it could do live stream YouTube videos. But yeah, so I only got the basic. I was trying to get help to buy a laptop. I was like, you know what, it was just too much. I just couldn't. I didn't. I don't know. I just didn't really want to bother people. Buy a laptop, and so I actually just went to Walmart and bought a laptop. And you find out later, yikes! Well, it was really basic, and you hope. Well, for what I'm using it for, I guess it's fine. But I I don't save. And in the cloud too. I'm like full on the cloud, and if this video will never work, this video can't be on the cloud. It's too long right now to be on the cloud. So it's only saved on my desktop, and I need the room. And then just put a title and upload it to YouTube. And I'm the only one that's gonna watch it. And it's probably gonna have this one is gonna have no views for weeks and weeks. Who knows? Might not. I have a lot of videos that still have no views on them. Happy 4th of July for Americans and NFL talk. And it's got no views to this day. There's some other videos too. It's got no views. And for some reason, promo with Ernie got a lot of views, which is crazy. Yeah. So, you know, it's like I said, it's been a lot of fun for me to kind of, for myself, like to do all this. It's get, oh wow, it's getting like close to like a dinner time. Time to wrap this up, right, Coach? Coach is tired of standing there, from looking at the screen. Looking at the screen. Uh, well, being that it's only Tuesday, there's no chance of having. If it was Wednesday, there might be a chance of a live football. Well, Coach and I, I'll be turning on the big TV at 8 o'clock, and Coach and I will be hoping that there's going to be a college football game to watch. Hopefully, if not, I just I don't know. I'm not a big. I don't want. I don't want to. I don't watch NBA. I don't watch NHL anymore. What else is there? NHL, NBA. That's for the pro levels. And yeah, like back in the Chuck Muncie days, I was watching NBA when it wasn't even on. Oh, by the way, I was watching NBA when it was only there was hardly on TV. Like hardly to catch it on TV. That's all. I come from a really different era, and so you know, I come from an era pre satellite days where NBA wasn't even on. Like I'm talking when satellite dishes were common. First, there was that I'm talking like at least see some of them because the like the first dish. I know no I know things about frequencies and signals and bandwidth. So the receiver for the first satellite home satellites for the house, they had to be so big the receiver because the band the frequency they're on and the way it's called the wavelength the wavelength needed a big needed that big receiver to focus it on the beam the beam like the signal focus on the beam. So I come from those days when people had these humongous uh, satellite dishes receivers in the backyard. Remember, the actual satellite receiver is in the house, to but the dish the outside to collect the signal and focus it on the antenna, which is the middle part of that dish. And so before that, of course, I remember like I was watching NBA, college basketball. I was glued to college basketball. Even though I was still a football nut, like I still loved football, but I was glued to watching the Final Four college when the tournament started, March Madness. I used to just pick UCLA for no reason. I just picked UCLA, and to this day, I'm still thinking of picking UCLA. I'm not like And no particular reason why I liked UCLA Bruins. No idea why. Oh, maybe it was the T-shirt I had at the time. I don't know. Stuck with it. But anyways, But I used to be glued to the TV to watch college basketball tournament. Like even, and I watched college basketball even before. Used to watch NHL hockey a lot too. Mostly Toronto Maple Leafs because like at the time the era I'm talking about was pre-cable too. No, yes, pre-cable. I would watch like in Ontario, you could watch Hockey Night in Canada, and they can catch it in Buffalo too, and Niagara Falls, New York. But you know, I was watching, and hockey became available on what was called Channel 11, and then when it became so successful, this is a different era because this is a totally different era. And then the global television, I think they still call it global. I don't even know what they call that station anymore. I'm so out of the loop when it comes to stuff like that. Okay, so then they took over, and then they realized, hey, and then it was 1984 came along, and it was like an over-the-air TV station. Uh, they have to cut into their regular programming to show hockey. So I think the TSNs took over to watch like hockey games, and it's 1984 if I remember correctly where the Sports Network came on cable. We had cable then, but the thing was that the time when I was like watching all the sports, young, watching every sport, baseball, lots of baseball too. Used to even watch Monday Night Baseball. So that was a different world. I don't have the patience like I used. Even though they sped the game up and all that, I don't know. I just moved on and dwindled my dwindled my viewing. But I still remember if you like like going, and then after going to bars, sports bars, sports like theme bars, like kind of like they would have a satellite dish, and everything was free practically because there's all these complications. Um, you're being in Canada, signal comes from start originates in USA. It was kind of like it was a wild west of watching free stuff off the satellite dish, and the bar, they didn't. It was a different world back then. They were showing like the Lakers games, and I used to be like, wow, I'm watching at 10:30. It started at 10 o'clock, or you know, or 10:30, whatever it was. And I can't remember if it was 10 o'clock or 10:30, but either way, because it was 3 hours behind. They're 3 hours behind out west. So watching Lakers, and it was called Prime Ticket, I think it was called, and seeing it on the big screen. And the first big screens, the three big, huge spotlights, the red, blue, and green. Is that three colors? Red, blue, and green? Yeah. And that would focus it on a mirror, which would put it on a screen. So, but at least it was a picture I could see. It was like comparing it to today's world. Wow. But the eyes, to me that looked great. That picture looked great back then. But now it's hilarious to me to see it now. It's like, wow, I actually thought that was a good picture back in the day compared to today's 4K. But yeah. So and then later on, I didn't watch other sports than football as much. Like it just got like less and less of me watching hockey, and it would, and then it became a time and where I didn't even watch the NHL playoffs anymore. Then didn't even watch the Stanley Cup anymore. Uh, so that's when I noticed that I really don't watch that many sports, but I love football. I never stopped watching football ever. Like if there was if there was an NFL game on television, I've always would watch NFL because it's probably the basic structure of being, back in the day it was only 16 weeks with no breaks. You know, because I started, yeah, I could say I could vaguely remember the 14 game schedule, and because there was two expansion teams, which is the Tampa in 1976, two expansion teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then they took out, there was five preseason games if I remember correctly, and they took out one preseason game, or is it, and added two games for some reason. They took out one, or they took out more than one preseason game. Like they just did recently, where they took out a preseason game to add a regular season game. Yeah, so it went from 14 games to 16 games. And if anybody could still actually remember the schedule that was 14 games, it's it's just how, like, cannot believe how far we have come in this world from, like, that person with the long hair and using a sweatband to hold his long hair in place, and with the cut off jeans and a t-shirt that has probably a mushroom on it, a glowing mushroom, or taking it to the street with a van on it, and words taking it to the street with a van, Doobie Brothers, or whatever. Like a butterfly was pretty pop. I would there's the drummer for Pink Floyd, uh, Nick Mason, with the butterfly on his T-shirt. It's on Live in Pompeii. If you ever take a look, to know what I mean. T-shirts were a big deal back when I was that time. I'm wearing a T-shirt right now. It's so crazy. I'm a T-shirt person from way back, and still am. And I don't collar shirts with a collar. I call it formal wear. I don't even. I never. Everything was T-shirt, 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 T-shirt. That's just who I am, and yeah. So I mean, like, that person, like, I can't imagine transporting that person standing there with the cut off jeans. They used a pair of scissors. Sometimes it's a bad cut. The cut off jeans, driving around in this 1972 Chevrolet Impala, and with that long hair, using the sweatband, a t-shirt, whatever iron on t-shirt of the day, transported today's world. I guess seeing a giant TV flat would think he was on the Starship Enterprise. Like, I don't even know what to think. Like the like we have come a long way as a society, and like I said, what does the future hold for football? And like, here's the big thing, and this is what I'll end with. Like, there'll be less kickoffs in football. This is now going back to football related. Will there be less kickoffs in football? When is the NFL going to say you don't, uh, like, on a field goal? Let's not do another kickoff. The team gets the ball they could take it on the 30. A team could take the ball on the 30-yard line instead of letting them kick it and get it on the 25. Agree to like, okay, we'll take if you don't want them to kick off, you would take the ball on the 30. Now, of course, teams will be allowed to kick off, or maybe they're just going to change the rules on how to get a first down. Maybe like what the was it the XFL that did it? If I remember correctly, it wasn't the US, it was the XFL or USFL did it too, or I'm not sure. I can't remember if they both did it, but I'm pretty sure the XFL did it. Maybe they'll just go, hey, you want the ball, say on your own 40 instead of kicking it off. You got to do first and 15. I'm sorry, fourth and 15, not first and 15, fourth and 15. It's less than 5 minutes left. The team will be allowed because they're gonna try to get rid of kickoffs, as they say, kickoffs. Because when they do the stats, unfortunately, the kickoffs have the most head injuries too, and lots of injury. And it's like it's can football survive without kickoffs? Like even on a touchdown. Okay, that's gonna be a video for itself. I might have a video essay on that. Like, but I don't have anyone to discuss it with, so I'm not gonna discuss it with the playing with the Coach Coyote and discuss like with it just becomes silly. I need an actual another human being to discuss this with, and I could do a video on it. I guess a super friendly debate on for and against. Like keep the kickoffs or against. Like you don't really need kickoffs anymore. You could just do first and 15, and it's it's a tough question of what like. Here's the thing: of what are we hanging on to when we say kickoff? What is it like? I'm wondering if I'm just pausing to think like this. Do you need kickoffs at the high school level? I mean, it depends. Well, we'll see in the world. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I might be. I'm 20 years from now. If I'm still like, if I don't just die of old age 20 years from now, natural death of old age, will I see the NFL? And I still think there'll be an NFL, and I still think it'll be popular. It's just so easily structured. I've known it from way back. It's easy to you start, you finish, Super Bowl like season. You start, finish, Super Bowl, and lots of time to wait for September again and start all over again. But football will probably be like always. It's gonna stick to number one for a long time. It looks like, and like such a changing world, of course. And like, will I see kickoffs anymore or partial kickoffs? Where just kickoffs on touchdowns only, which kind of makes it like, what's the difference between a touchdown and a field goal? Well, you're kicking off, and you know. So it's been a long-winded video. I don't think in 5 years from now to this date, mark it this date, 5 years from now, this video will still have no views because when I go on my channel, because I remember I'm gonna delete this video when I upload after I upload it. This video will probably still have no views, and I don't care. You notice I never asked for anybody to subscribe spread the word. Give to my Patreon page. I started a Patreon page. I'm hurting for cash. I need money to keep this YouTube channel. Really? What? Okay, you want to donate for equipment, but like, what am I supposed to do? Like, get this crazy ass Patreon page? Like, oh, here, donate so I could get new equipment, like a tower with a camera, microphone with a microphone stand, uh, like, whatever, like, what am I supposed to show receipts? You know, like, here's a receipt. Here's the receipt. Show it on the live streams. Oh, here's the receipt for this equipment here that I was given from pay. Like, I don't really. Back in the day when YouTube was like started, and there's like people with this. Oh, donate to so I could keep my YouTube channel going. Like, wait, it doesn't cost anything. It just costs your time. And if you want to, if you, I'm screaming. Sorry. If you want a microphone, it's like, okay, fine. If like me, like I don't even have the money to pay for a microphone, but I don't care. I went out and scraped the money together, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get a microphone because I'd be able to sit like I'm doing now. I'm really sitting back nice now. Sometimes I'm lying down, sometimes I'm, uh, but right now I'm really good. I got my feet up in the air and I'm on the bed. I'm leaning really back on the reclining chair here. I feel good, and like I said, I I I bought the microphone and I bought those menu boards like that one there, and I kept on with the like I didn't know these menu boards. This all came out of my own thought process of like to get like I said, I bought three menu boards because you get a lot of letters and get a lot of numbers. And like I said, and if you six games, and I have to figure out strategies too. If I run out of twos, and I did that. Oh, here's six games. I can actually fit eight games on the board, but the 1 o'clock starts. If I want to do the scores and I run out of twos, what I'll do is put a four. I'll put a 4 o'clock game to the 1 o'clock board. Not say about like what time these. I won't say on that board. I won't go. Oh, here's the 1 o'clock games. I'll just I'll do like NFL scores with Sylvester, and I'll just switch up. I'll just switch up one game that doesn't have the two in the score or a three, because that's the one. I'm not worried about the O's, the zeros. I said the O's. I'm not worried about the zeros or the O's if I'm on the vowels, because you could use either or, the zero or the O, and then you end up with a lot of those. But now I got three of the boards. You got to take those apart. Like here, I'll show you what I mean by taking those apart real quick, and then I'll wrap this up. But if I got it within reach here. Uh, okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Like there's also a bigger one too, which I used up all. I cut them all up. Okay, this was the small one, or a piece of the smaller one that comes with it. But the as you can see where that arrow thing is arrow, and this other thing. I don't even know what these are, but there's the arrow. I didn't take it apart yet, but yeah, there would be letters, numbers, and symbols. That's all these letters were like here. You just like I'll show. I'll put this microphone down for a second. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. Like I'll show you with my left hand where I'm kind of just like there was a number like this arrow how it was attached. Like see how this arrow is attached, right? And then you just kind of back and forth, twist it around. These are hard. This is really hard. I'll show you with both hands. This one is really hard to get off, so I just gave up. I go, I don't care. I'm never gonna use it anyways. But I happen to just go, you know what? What if I do need an arrow? Yeah, I'll keep it. But like sometimes, like they had this was the other. This one had the eight, like so the numbers on it too. And yeah, just gotta take them off. And like I said, and then of course I've used like put them in this old pill bottles. Like these are the numbers only. I think I said it in my 100th video. I was showing like the consonants, and then I'm learning that trick of RSTNL. The vowels in one pills, the consonants in another big one. Like I got the consonants in a big pill, but then I put the RSTNL in a separate one because you, there's a lot of words that just use the vowels with the RSTNL, and it's really quick to be able to just make these boards. They take a lot of time to put these boards together, and then you could switch them out too, like I do. You push pause, switch out for the scores to back to the main title, whatever. So yeah, so I did all this on my own. Like I just thought of this all on my own, and I'm just trying to pass it on. If anybody wants to do a YouTube channel and don't got a budget, don't have the software, can't figure it out. Not gonna. Somebody's something wants my attention. Can't figure it out, and so it's like you could try to just do it like that. Just I know it looks all hokey. Like I said, this is a whiteboard. This is like this behind this menu board is the white where the coach is the menu board, and I put this blanket because the white is really bad. It reflects really bad uh, on the camera. It doesn't look that great on the camera. It's just, but this is just, like I said, this is just a regular whiteboard. I'm shaking here because it can hold things with the string. I'll show you the string. I could take this down too right now. Like this is the easiest one to take down when it's Ernie. When I do Ernie on Wednesday and Coyote, because Ernie I just have him in a sitting down position, and the Coyote could stand up on its own because the wires are inside of it. But the rest I have to string them up and hold them up, and they're held like this. Like this one is held with just a you can see back right, and I'll show you the back again. And the tape is just a marker. It's like that's usually a good spot. And and then this and then just hold them up with the clip with this big. Doesn't have to be these ones. It could be even. It could even, it could even be these ones. There's there's really not much weight, but I wanted to make sure by holding it up it doesn't fall, because I don't want anything falling on my laptop. I don't want anything to fall and then land on my laptop. Like if this, I didn't want this thing to fall and then like if it Like if it fell forward like this or like that, it could land on uh my screen. It could land on the keyboard. I don't know what kind of damage it could do, and I'm literally crying like a baby after going, oh, well, I don't got money for a laptop. What am I gonna do? I'm out. It's it. I'm done. All my YouTube stuff is over and done with, and so yeah. Well, and like I said, and the coach, like I said, the coach here. Ooh, I knocked over stuff here. Sure. If you're Canadian or if you are from the Buffalo area, you might remember the Friendly Giant. Remember they used to be able to go like this. Dude, it was on CBC, the Friendly Giant. But yeah, and like I said, the Coyote's the best one because it stands up. Just put him down. Look, I just put him down. Look, see, pick him up. He stands up on his own, and like I said, he's got ears and that. So, oh, sorry. Thanks. Thanks for letting me show you, Coach. Okay, so wow, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Okay, so with me and the coach are gonna say goodbye. Okay, so we're gonna both say goodbye, over, and let's see, you take it away, Coach. Ready? Ooh, microphone slid. Okay, so I'll just pretend I'm doing it for the Coach Coyote signing out. Okay, so I'll do my thing where well, at first I sorry, Coach. I think I was holding his hand. I didn't even realize it. Okay, sorry, Coach. I don't know if he wants his hand held like that. Okay, it says Mrs. Coyote. That's for Mrs. Coyote, not me. Okay, so I start off, of course, with "Welcome to." Everybody has a catchphrase, and then I sign off with "Over and out." Just something you gotta start something. So, okay, with further ado, this is Coach Coyote, over and out.